and big in your mind.
Hey.
Hey, welcome to the Money Tub Podcast. I'm your host, Jared, and this is Michael.
Yeah.
Uh,
I can't force that.
yeah,
That's just
it's because I was like, I've listened back to a couple, and I'm like, we don't even tell them like what we are. But then like, there was a couple of episodes I did it, and I was like, maybe not. Okay, I think it was what we had was good. Also, just a bit of housekeeping. I'm slightly under the weather, so if I sound slightly huskier than usual.
You know, husky is actually also a nice way of saying like fat.
Oh no, I'm very husky in that result.
Like they
I
used
got
to
a husky voice.
So you know how they have like big and tall stores?
Oh yeah,
They used to have husky
like,
stores.
humble and husky.
It'd be like medium, large, husky.
Wow. We should make a big and tall store called Humble and Husky.
But like cheap, big and tall clothes.
Yeah.
Because apparently it's more expensive.
Well, I mean, there's more stuff used in it.
Yeah.
But then there's less stuff used in small, so I figure it'd just equal itself out.
I remember seeing a guy in the city who was a chunky donkey, we might say, and he had this a Rabbitohs jersey on because, of course, it was a Rabbitohs jersey.
Yeah.
For the American fans, that's sort of like a Raiders fan, or like a no, it's like a New England Patriots fan.
Oh.
Anyway,
I don't get the correlation, but sure.
They will maybe. So yeah, I saw this guy with the Rabbitohs jersey, and I was like, he clearly bought it a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And I think he was homeless.
Yeah, no, for a Rabbitohs fan, yeah, probably.
But yeah, and so he just had this enormous, what do they call that?
Well, like the belly sticking out of the bottom of the shirt.
The belly, but it's got like the belt button sticking into it, so it looks kind of in two pieces.
Oh, I call it a hamburger because it sort of looks like a burger bun. The top half's a burger bun and the bottom half's a burger bun, and the belt is...
Yeah.
You know how like
or
burger
like
bun...
the sun porch or the... Anyway, basically it was sagging down like well past his junk through outside the top of his untucked in Rabbitohs jersey.
I mean, you can't... Yeah, that's actually a requirement to be a Rabbitohs fan, is to have that.
Mm. Well, that's why Russell Crowe did all that stuff.
Yeah, that's why
I don't even know what stuff I'm talking about.
He got fat for that role in The Nice Guys. That's a good movie.
Yeah, he did get fat.
I really like that movie. People think it's weird, but it's actually pretty good.
Do you reckon if you were a legendary actor?
What do you mean, if?
But like, see, if I was, it'd be a great excuse if I just like got lazy with my diet or whatever.
Oh, just got really fat.
I'd just be like, oh yeah, no, it's for a role.
It's for a role.
Yeah, you're not. It's the movie's in development hell. You're not going to see it for a while.
Yeah, it's a biopic of my life.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't finished yet. Okay. But I mean, can you do a biopic of yourself if you're still alive?
Yes.
People done that?
Or Audie Murphy did that.
The hell is that?
He's James Randi's friend. No.
No. Yeah. All right.
No. Okay. So he was the most decorated American soldier ever.
Oh.
In World War II, and after World War II, they made movies about what the stuff he did in World War II, and he played himself because no one else could.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, and he was. I don't know. I like the Americans. They hand out medals like candy. So like.
Yeah. There's always like the joke of like, whenever someone's like portraying a dictator or whatever, they've got like 1,000 medals on their chest, which they just give themselves.
That's just an American sergeant.
Yeah, that's just like, oh yeah, I was private first class. I didn't even get that far.
Yeah, well, it's because they get like badges and stuff when they pass certain training things, and then that goes on their thing.
Oh, really? So it's like basic pistol training.
So some of those are just like marksmanship medals and stuff, and then others are what's it called?
Purple Heart, that's one.
Yeah,
That's if you
the
get.
one you get for getting shot. Like,
Oh, really?
Get good.
Wait.
Or
How,
if you get
so,
wounded or sick as a result of a combat action, you get a Purple Heart.
so I could just like go be in the rain, get a cold, and be like, yeah, here's your Purple Heart.
Only if it's in combat.
Oh, I get a cold specifically in a battle.
Yeah, like if an ISIS guy sneezes on you, just as you're, like driving the knife into his temple or something.
And I got ISIS cold.
Yeah, that's the worst kind.
Pneumoniasis. No, it doesn't work. ISIS fluenza. There we go. Maybe.
I'm pretty sure there's a ISIS-itis.
Yeah.
But yeah, what were we talking about just then?
Birds. Well,
yeah,
I mean that's the topic.
What we're going to talk about.
Eventually, spoiler.
But I have something else to say about. Oh yeah, medals.
Medals.
Yeah, so you get one for getting shot.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but
I mean, being shot is probably one of the worst things that could happen to you in war because you could die. I mean, depends on where you're shot. You'll die instantly, but like,
and what you shot with.
Yeah.
If you're shot with a BB gun.
Yeah, do you reckon like
gonna be fine?
There were like soldiers in Afghanistan like shooting each other with BB guns and being like giving each other Purple Hearts?
I do now.
Because like I've seen like
they get up to such goofy shit.
Oh, they do. Because you must get so bored. It's like not like you can't just go out and walk down the shops.
Well, that's what. So, do you remember? I can't say his name. Do you remember that guy that always wore singlets on?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
On that camp we went on.
I also know what you're getting at. Yes, continue.
He said, because he's in the army and he's like in the engineer corps or something, and he said,
yeah,
his job is like 90%. So it's like 99% waiting around, and then like 1% shitting his pants in terror.
I mean, it makes sense because like yeah, I don't know if this is just Australian Army or whatever, but like you get given a gun, right?
Mm.
And before you can fire it, you need express permission. And depending on what gun you have, the more permission you need.
Mm.
So if you've got like I think the Australian Army is like a standard Steyr, right? If you've got one of those, your platoon leader or whatever can be like, yep, fire. But if you've got something any bigger than that, their leader needs to, unless it's like life or death or whatever. But yeah, you need express permission to be like, yeah, you can shoot now.
Yeah, but then the problem there is you can just be like, oh yeah, it was life or death. I feared for my life.
No, it was life or death. The black guy in the car was reaching for his wallet and I shot him.
I mean, yeah, that's actually.
Is that a bit spicy? Is that too hot?
That's I mean, it's true. That's the thing they say. They always say like, "Oh, I feared for my life," and I'm like, "He was 14."
Yeah, well, I mean, there was I don't know how old she was, but there was the Australian woman in.
Oh, in Minnesota.
Yeah, she got. Yeah, she's first off, she's a blonde white Australian woman, and it's like the guy was just like, nah, not having it, blatting with the gat.
Yeah. But he was from Somalia, apparently.
I think his background was Somali. I think he was born in the States.
Oh. Because if he was from Somalia, then he would have all kinds of PTSD. I mean, that country's that's a war zone, basically.
Yeah, like Pirates Heap's good.
It's a country that sometimes has a government. Most countries always have a government.
I mean, most countries always have a government.
Yeah. But like sometimes their government is like actually effective, and then other parts of the country, it's like, oh, that's just some guys sitting in a room.
I mean, isn't that what our government is at the moment? Don't get me started about that.
We have to vote for them. Well, for one of them. We don't have to vote for all of them.
Well, I mean, technically, because we have a preferential voting system.
Oh, yeah, because
we can technically pass a vote for all of them. However, if you get to like number like 300.
That's what gets me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind. I would like to be able to, and I think you can do this now,
What?
but you can preference above the line.
Yeah.
So it's like you write 1, 2, 3 for your
Up to
different
like,
parties, but you don't have to go through every single candidate's name.
all right. What if, like, Australian comedian was like, because you can vote for members in the party, right? Not just the leader. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if, like, some, like, massive celebrity was like, all right, all Australians, just this dude out of nowhere, just put him number one. Everyone put him number one. And then that guy got in, he was like, what, motoring enthusiasts party or whatever it is we have. And he's like, well, I didn't think I'd get here, but I'm the PM now.
Very good idea.
I would.
I reckon they should do the Senate where they just cast a lottery.
Really?
And like
Kind of just like people that are running or like random people?
just random people.
Like you've got like
No, like, okay, so the House of Representatives, that should be like elected.
yeah.
But the Senate should just be random people.
So how many people in the Senate?
Oh, double the size of the Senate first.
Well, how much would that? How many would that make? How many people are in the Senate now?
So there's, I think, 75 in the Senate.
75, so 150.
Yeah.
So you've got 150 chance in 25 million.
Yeah. Well,
Get a
I mean,
picture.
you have to divide it up by state to make it fair.
Yeah, good point.
So it'd be like however many seats New South Wales gets. And
So how many states do we have? 8. So we'd need 8 divided by 150. Let's just put it at 160.
Yeah.
Just to round it off. So you get like 10 from each state. No, 20 from each state.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we just throw them in the Senate, and then they're like, imagine. And actually, no, it wouldn't be 25 million because there'd be people that would be eligible. Like, do you have to be born in Australia to get into Parliament?
Yep. Or no, you just have to renounce all other citizenship
Oh, okay.
because
Oh, that's right. The thing with
with Barnaby Joyce.
yeah, Barnaby Joyce. Not the thing where he rooted one of his staff members, got him pregnant, and was paying him 200 grand for a social media manager role.
200 grand, really?
Yeah, no, yeah,
Was that
100%.
Oh, was that like the don't talk about this?
No, she was on like 200 grand a year.
Damn it, Barnaby.
I mean, I'd root a politician.
But would you root someone called Barnaby?
For 200 grand a year, yeah. Because in 5 years, that's $1 million.
That's true. Well, I mean, before taxes.
Well, yeah, but she's a poly, so
She basically pays taxes and then they go back into the system that pays her salary.
well, yeah, I work for the government. It's like because people are like, ironically, people are like, "Yo, you're a dickhead. My taxes pay your wages," and then I hit him with a yes, and I think you find my taxes pay my wages as well. And I don't know, I haven't had it in a while, but it's pretty good. It's just like you wait for it to happen, and then you're like, no, continue, please continue. And then they're like, ugh. And then you're like, whew, mine, dude. And then it's like, and then it's like that meme where it's like, like all the black, you know the meme with the black guys where it's like the,
Oh, and he's like, ah!
and he's like, ah!
Yeah. I don't even know does it have a name?
I don't know, sick burn meme.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up. But so 15 minutes in, haven't even spoken about a bird.
Oh yeah,
Have
birds.
we inadvertently spoken about birds?
We talked about Barnaby's bird.
Hey, Lamau.
I mean his penis, not his. I don't call women.
That's a
birds.
derogatory term.
I don't call women birds
Um,
because I don't have an English accent. If I was at an English accent,
oi, love.
I'd only call women birds.
Oi, bruv, let's go get some birds.
We'll get some proper fit birds.
I love. Let me have a look at that. Gosh. Sorry, that's the funniest thing you can say in an English accent.
That's the worst English accent. I mean, there's some bad English accents.
I mean, it was more Scottish, but
See, I that sounded more like someone from Leeds. Because there's a guy at my work who sounds exactly like that.
oh, Can you get him to say, "Hey, love, let me have a go at that gosh"?
Look, if I get enough beers in him, he'll do it himself.
I mean, birds.
Yeah. I used to have 2 birds.
Uh huh.
They were not the. You know how budgies they come in like that size.
Like
Or let's say rock melon size, and then some of them come in orange size.
cantaloupe size.
Yeah, and then
those outside Australia.
and then some of them are like just like a big chili pepper.
Yeah.
I had ones that was sort of the size of a big chili pepper, but not too big, not like a bullhorn pepper.
Didn't you have cockatiel?
No, I had 2 budgies,
Oh.
and I think I'll get to that in a second. Anyway, I had a yellow one and a blue one, and the yellow one was really friendly, and like jumped on your hand and stuff. Then we got the blue one who had whatever the bird version of like severe anxiety disorder is. And then they fed off each other, and then neither of them would even come close to you when you put your hand in the cage. And you'd open up the cage, and then they just fly around, like, and then they had a little bell in the cage, and they'd just freak out. Anyway, that was kind of depressing because now neither of the birds wanted anything to do with me, and I just sort of had all I could do was like sit there watching them, but they'd be like looking at me like,
"What's it gonna do?" Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, but
that was a really good story.
No, and then
it wasn't a good story. Okay, fine.
Then one of them died. The yellow one died, and then it was just the blue one. And like you know how when birds like they lose their buddy, they like pull their feathers out and stuff.
Oh really?
Yeah.
This is getting darker by the minute. Continue.
Okay, so then we went away on holidays and left the white one. Or did I say blue? The blue one in the care of the. She was white and blue. Anyway, we left her in the care of my grandma.
Yeah.
Who doesn't listen to this podcast. And we come back and suddenly all her feathers are back. And her nose is a little bit differently shaped. And then that bird goes to live on another 10 years. well, not 10 years, like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, by that stage, she was already like 10.
Yeah.
My theory.
Oh, got replaced.
Yeah, I think my grandma
killed it and replaced it.
Either killed it or it died because it was really old anyway. While she was looking after it, and then she felt bad about it, so she bought a new one that looked roughly the same.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you ever reckon? Actually, can you pause? I need to take this. And we're back.
So yeah, I think
let's get your bird replaced. All right, do you reckon vets get that a lot? Not vets, pet shops get that a lot.
Oh, like someone comes in and says, "I need a bird that looks like this."
I need a bird that looks exactly like this, and they're holding like a dead bird. They're like, why do you ask? And it's like, what the hell do you think? All right, come on, man, put 2 and 2 together. Well, I mean, I've never had a bird. I would love a bird, like a cockatiel or something mimic. I could teach it profanities. That'd be hilarious. Make it racially insensitive.
That would be funny. Make it racist to other birds.
Or just like other like species, like damn lizards.
Yeah.
Coming into my cage, taking my jobs.
Well, the cockatiels are pretty smart. I reckon.
Apparently they have the same like mental capacity as like a 12-year-old.
That makes sense, I think.
Because like it. I mean, I don't know. 12-year-olds can mimic.
You should see. I always wanted to get like a parrot.
Yeah,
I know budgies are technically parrots, but like a cockatoo type parrot or like a macaw. Yeah. But they're like, well, one, I'd feel like a huge dick for clipping their wings, and 2,
you don't have to. You just then can't let it outside, otherwise it'll bugger off.
Oh yeah. But yeah, and the other thing is they can live longer than you do.
Oh yeah, there was a some scientist had I don't know, I want to say, what's his face, the evolution.
Charles Darwin.
Yeah, Charles. I want to say it was Charles Darwin. I don't think it was, Some scientist had a parrot that like died recently, and he was doing science like X amount of 100 years ago. Okay, maybe not that much,
All right.
but like, yeah, no, it died way after he died, and he was studying it for whatever. That's why I think it's Charles. I think he was studying it. I don't know.
Imagine if you got Einstein's parrot,
Yeah, Einstein.
and then it just started
Like
saying like
revealing, like-
new science.
Like, yeah, it just started mimicking new science. It's like,
It's like
space is limited.
this is what he was working on when he died.
Space is unlimited, bro. I mean, I don't know. I mean, dying doesn't necessarily stop you doing work anymore because, like Prince has got albums coming out still.
That's because he had a vault.
Yeah, and the Prince Family Trust needs a.
Yeah, I hope they don't.
Yeah,
Actually, I don't know, because he was really weird, and like he had a really high standard. So maybe there's some really good albums that he didn't think were good enough.
Yeah, it's possible.
I don't want a Jimi Hendrix situation.
Well,
So
whether
they just release unfinished songs.
Oh, yeah.
Like just whatever they had left over in the sessions when he died.
Oh, okay.
And they do that all the time. And then they'll re-release the same ones a couple of times and add like 2 more.
Oh.
So like it was like an album that came out like last year, I think. Like a Jimi Hendrix album. And it was just previously it was remixed versions of stuff that was recorded just before he died, but never released while he was alive. And then a couple of songs that they'd just discovered the tapes for.
Oh.
One of which didn't even have Jimmy on it.
So how does that work?
I don't know.
Was he playing or singing or what? Because he did both, from memory.
Yeah, no, he wasn't doing. I couldn't.
Either. Okay.
Maybe I wasn't listening hard enough, but I could not hear a guitar and I could not hear him singing.
No, you gotta listen.
And I know who the singer was. There's a difference. It was it was Stills from Crosby, Stills and Nash.
Oh, Crosby, Stills and Nash. Yeah. I have no idea who that is. But like, I don't know. I guess it's like because Tupac's mom found a rhyme book, and I think one of Tupac's rhyme book, and I think she sold it, and people were using that as inspiration.
Mm.
Do you know Monica Lewinsky's been in like 50 raps?
As in mentioned, or she's actually
Mentioned.
She's a featuring artist.
It's just featuring artists. No, she's mentioned in like 50 rap songs.
That makes sense because rap was sort of hitting its stride about the time.
Yeah.
She did the old.
Bill Clinton 1-2.
Yeah, I was trying to think of something about desks. Till she
Bumped on the desk.
Yeah. She did the old desk headbutt. She defiled the Resolute desk.
The hell does that mean? I've seen the Resolute desk. Is that what the president's desk is called?
Yeah, at the time.
Oh.
They've got like 4 desks to choose from.
Really?
Yeah, so like every time they go in, they get to pick how to decorate the Oval Office, and then they get to pick which desk. I think they could make another desk, but
the
Resolute desk is the one that they use now, and usually they pick the Resolute desk.
Why?
Because it's
the one with the buttons?
It's made out of a British ship that they destroyed.
Was the ship called the Resolute?
Yes.
Oh.
And it's got and the reason Bill Clinton got it is because it has a panel in the front. Right, so you see how that desk doesn't have a panel in the front, and you can see through the desk.
Oh right, yeah. Oh, so yeah, there's the.
It's got a panel in the front because Franklin Roosevelt had it to hide the fact that he was in a wheelchair.
Uh-huh.
But Bill Clinton used it to hide
a wheelchair.
He used it to hide his Clinton monument.
No, because there's the famous photo of someone and their kids playing under the desk.
Yeah, JFK.
That's him.
Yeah.
How did that turn out? I'm kidding.
Well, he went to a parade and they say it blew his mind.
You know, they put his brain in a jar
Yeah, that's messed up.
and then it went missing.
Wasn't that Einstein?
No, I thought that was
Oh no,
just,
Einstein. They know where the brain is.
yeah, just in case you can bring him back and he can just like blow our mind. Or his parrot can just be like, great, equals MC squares bullshit.
But no. So what? What bothers me? Like they didn't actually ask him, "Hey, do you want us to take your brain?" They just took his
Oh, they
brain.
just took it. Well, he probably knew like war secrets or something, or he's hiding something. So just in case we could get a brain machine to read
Oh
brains.
yeah. But
Because he did something to do with the war,
but
didn't
you
he?
know what kind of actually he did? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think something to do with the bomb.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
But he, the kind of person that would invent the brain machine, is Einstein, and he just died. So
Well, I mean, maybe they do have a brain machine, like a neural net processor. They can just like, you plug your brain in, like you just like jam the brain stem into like a USB slot, and it's just like, oh yeah, here we go.
I know kung fu. Do you reckon scientists have like you know how you listen to guitarists talk and they'll go on about like, oh yeah, Jimi Hendrix was the greatest of all time, or
Oh, do you
whatever.
reckon there's like a scientist?
Do you reckon scientists are like, no man, Einstein overrated. You know,
He didn't even do good. Like, what did he do? He just figured out like space and time and whatnot. And their the relativity and whatnot.
yeah,
Like this dude, he cured XYZ disease. He's a scientist you can get behind.
yeah.
He had a he had like a 60-1 cure rate. Oh, they're talking about it like it's like sports people. Like,
But sports is at least like objective, or at least there's an
yeah,
objective element to it.
yeah.
Like you can't be the greatest like rugby player of all time and not have many tries
Well, yeah, yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. It's like,
unless you're a playmaker. But
yeah, like what are you talking about? Like assists?
yeah,
Like do assists come into effect? Because like, or like defensive. Like I'm just gonna take rugby for example. Like a flanker or like a number 8 or even like second row, they're not going to get the ball that much, but those are the three faster, like bigger dudes,
Mm.
right? So how many times have they like stopped tries and stuff like that? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And then just, like Twinkle Toes here just gets the ball twice a game and scores twice.
Mm. But then you got those Jonah Lomu types.
Yeah, but he was big and had the Twinkle Toes.
But you know he used to play as a prop,
Yeah.
and then like he won a sprint or something at the trials, and he beat everybody at the like 100-yard sprint in the All Blacks trials.
Wow.
And then the coach was just like, hey, "What if we put this like monster on the wing?"
Well, yeah, I mean, it makes sense because it's like, or even, nah, you'd be wasting him in a defensive position. Because, like, I mean, yeah, sure, you could just like monster dudes and like just have this massive dude just chasing down backs and just hammering them.
Mm.
But I don't know. Great rugby player, God rest his soul, died at 40.
But lived just long enough to see the All Blacks win their third World Cup.
And they're second in a row, I think.
Let's be honest, that's probably what happened, yeah. Or was it the one before that, the one
It was 2011 and 20.
One of them, France beat you. I don't know if they actually won. I don't know if they went on to win it, but you lost
there was
to
20
France.
last time the last two World Cups because there's one this year. So 2015 and 2011, both.
That must have been before that.
Yeah. Oh, he might have died before the 2015 because I remember seeing it on the news at work because when we used to play the news.
No, it was just after because I remember them saying that in all the tributes. Like he lived just long enough to see. Like apparently,
Back to back.
he got really sick basically from the trip to South Africa
Oh, right.
or trip from or something like that.
Oh, no.
But I don't know. He had some weird thing with his kidneys
Yeah.
because he's a giant man.
Yeah. You know what doesn't have a weird thing with its kidneys?
Birds.
Birds, yeah. Okay.
I don't know if they even have kidneys.
I don't know. They've got a cloaca, which is a vagina, dick, butt.
Yeah, that. I'm still not entirely across the mechanics of how they
like have sex or mate.
Yeah.
Well, the male's got an egg, and then he pushes it from his cloaca into the woman's cloaca, and then the woman's like,
Wait. The male has an egg?
yeah. But
What's the female's egg?
another egg.
Okay.
So the two eggs come together and make a big egg, and then they lay it and then sit on it. I assume. I'm a biologist.
Yeah.
Any biologists out there want to email us? Go ahead.
Actually,
The cloaca is not a dick vagina butt. It's more of just a gaping hole which you shit and piss out of.
they can't even control it.
Yeah, they can't.
Did I ever tell you about the time a pelican shit on my entire family?
No.
Me, mum, and dad were walking down. You know the entrance?
Yeah, to what?
The entrance.
To where?
The town, formerly known as the entrance.
And that's still called the entrance?
Huh?
Isn't it still called the entrance?
Yeah, it is. But it formerly was as well.
Oh.
And anyway, we were walking down the promenade,
Yeah.
and we walk under a street light, and then suddenly Dad's laughing at me. He turned around like, "What? You got bird shit on your back?" And I turn around, he's got bird shit on his front. And then I say, "You got it on you too." And then Mum's like, "Go wait, boys, stop it." Anyway, all three of us got pelican shit on us because pelicans, it's just like.
Did you? All right. Fun fact about pelicans. Sorry. If you hit a bird with your car, it's fine. But if you hit anything larger than a pelican and larger, it's illegal. Look, don't ask me why. It's the amount. It's probably come up in a court case somewhere. And
Are there any other birds larger than a pelican?
Yeah, penguins. Except for little penguins or fairy penguins, whatever they're called now.
Is a wedge-tail bigger than a pelican?
Yeah.
Must be.
So, all right. So I've got this thing right with animals, right?
Mm.
People I don't know what to call it, but there's a ranking of how sad it is when something dies, right? So dogs are at the top, followed by cats, and then down I'd probably put
horses are up there somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, I'm talking house pets.
Okay.
Well, actually, no. Let's include all animals. So the top would be dog. If the dog dies, everyone's like, "No, the dog's dead."
People are sadder about a dog than an endangered polar bear or something.
Oh, 100%.
Even sadder than pandas.
No, even sadder than humans.
Yeah, that's. Oh, yeah.
People would be like,
I'm sadder in a movie when the dog dies than if any human character dies.
So,
and usually if the kid dies, I'm relieved because usually child characters are really annoying
and stupidly written. Okay, so all right. For example, if on the news there were people there was there was an earthquake in Guatemala and 30,000 people died and one dog. People would be like, "What? The dog died?" Yeah, so it's so I got so it's all right. Back to the list. So it's cat, dog, and then horse, and then most other pets are the same level. So birds, except for fish. Fish are way down the bottom. No one cares about fish.
It's because fish, you have so many of them. If one dies, you're like, "Oh, that's sad."
No, but if you had a really good fish, I would love to get a mad fish tank, like a tropical fish tank. I think that'd be sick.
Oh, those are the best.
And they're also
that's the only interesting looking fish.
Well,
what are you gonna get, a freshwater one?
Well, you can get cooler stuff like crabs or tadpoles.
Hermit crabs are cool.
Hermit crabs are cool because you can give them custom shells or a Coke can.
Yeah, there's a guy who has 3D printing shells for.
That's mad.
Hermit crabs.
That's mad. You could give them spikes and or put I would 100% get a normal shell, and then get a really fine pen and draw tribal tats on it. I think that'd be hilarious.
Or put a wind spoiler on the back of the crab shell.
They call him Speedy.
But like the racing stripe.
Oh, that'd be bad. I want to get a hermit crab now. But yeah, okay, so like, they're called like yabbies, or I don't know what they're called in the States.
Crawfish.
Crawfish, that's it, they're cool. I had one of those. And so it was in the tank with two other fish, which were just bottom feeders, so they clean the tank, right?
Yeah.
The yabby ate both the fish.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll do that. Did the yabby at least clean up after himself?
Oh yeah, no, we could. There was two fish, and then there was one fish, and then there were no fish, and there was no remains.
Oh god.
But like, yeah, I think it was I don't know, it was cool. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. But like, we used to have to like drop him. We used to like drop him bits of ham and stuff, and then just watch him doing like, because they have like rows of teeth which move, so they're like.
Oh yeah, it looks like some dude like plodding, but it's his teeth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty sweet. But birds, I've never had a bird. But yeah, so there's like a list. So like right down at the bottom are like insects. Any insect, doesn't even matter if it's a cool insect. Like, and then at the bottom of the insects are spiders, but then slightly above insects are snakes. And then like,
I'd get sad if it was like a cute insect.
oh,
Not
like
sad,
a ladybug.
Moderately sad. Like if it was if I saw someone step on a ladybug, I'd be like, dude.
Yeah, but like ladybugs are like 3 millimeters across.
Yeah, but I'd still be like,
if you saw it happen.
Okay, I wouldn't. If I saw someone step on a chihuahua, I would be like much more disturbed.
Pick another small dog.
Saw someone step on a spoodle, I'd be much more disturbed. Yeah, but chihuahuas are basically rat. That's actually, I have no remorse about rats. They're even kind of cute, but
yeah, I mean,
if I see one, I want it dead. I swerve into them.
We cut one up at school that was pregnant.
That's disturbing.
Oh yeah, because like,
wow,
because the
but they just didn't.
The teacher was just like, "Oh, okay, cool. So you want to slice into them and then pull them back," and everyone was like, "Ew." And then like, me and the guy I was with was like, and then she's like, "Oh, you got to pull this out, and this is that, and then this is that," and I'm like, "This has none of these in here." And then we start moving it around, and it's all like tiny little mice feeders. And we're like, we think, "Oh, this is pregnant," and she's like, "Oh yeah, that happens." And I was like, "Oh, okay, sure." She's like, just pull them out, just pull them out," and I'm like, "Okay."
See, it's already kind of disturbing enough to be dissecting a rat.
Where would you even buy a dead rat?
No, they sell them. Science supply stores.
All right, cool. I'm just going to write that down so I can avoid them.
I mean, you could. That'd be good for certain types of prank, I think.
Name one.
Okay, you go to someone's house that you don't like, and you stick the dead rat inside their air conditioning intake.
Just going to write that down so I can avoid doing it at all costs. Or you hide it in their car.
Even better, like you find the air filter for their air conditioning.
Oh, in their car.
Stick it under the air filter, then put the air filter back on top.
Oh, I guess you can't really get to them unless it's under the car nowadays.
Yeah. Or just like duct tape it to the part that gets really hot.
Oh yeah, like duct tape it to like the muffler at the back.
Yeah. Actually, no, you want a part that gets warm because you don't want to cook it. It might smell nice. You want it to get warm so it like decomposes faster.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of rats and snakes.
Yeah.
My brother has a friend who owned a snake.
Yeah.
A carpet python, I think.
Yeah.
And he also, I think he just went to the pet store to buy dead mice. Like frozen mice to feed to the...
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
And I think he thawed them out first. I don't think it really matters with a snake, though, because they just do that thing where they're like Predator.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you only need to feed them like once a week, twice a week. Because like it's going to be decomposing in there for a while, and they're literally going to get every bit of nutrients that thing has.
Yeah, do they poo the skeletons out?
I don't know. Do snakes poop? Do they also have cloacas?
Oh, I've got something.
Because they came from birds, didn't they? Or birds and snakes came from the same thing.
Yeah, dinosaurs.
Yeah, but
Or fish. Probably some kind of fish.
actually, snakes probably ate fish. Or we all came from fish, I guess. Allegedly.
But yeah,
Birds.
all right, so what's above snakes?
Probably people. I don't know, because no one cares about humans. Is like you get so desensitized.
We care about people if they look like us. Or if they remind us of us in some superficial way.
No, not. I mean, this
like you don't care about an earthquake in Kuala Lumpur until they show you footage of someone crying over their kid or something. But only if you've also got a kid and you're like, that could have been my kid.
Yeah, but like, I don't know if this is the sociopath in me talking, but it's like I don't care still.
Fair enough.
Because like
I mean, most people don't unless they have the added impetus of like basically manipulative media editing, etc.
yeah, like it's I don't know. People care about like, oh my goodness, this celebrity they did this, and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool,
Or like they did something bad.
or good or bad, or like, oh no, this happened to them, and I'm like, cool, okay.
Yeah. Well, I think people like to act out how caring and compassionate they are.
Yeah.
It's like a performance.
Yeah, I get that. Oh, well,
Without necessarily actually thinking it. That's just they feel like there's pressure to think that way.
yeah, I don't know. I just feel I guess I'm not pressured to do that. Okay, actually, now that I think about it, this is going back to birds.
Mm.
Speaking of my sociopathic tendencies, you know what the funniest thing to do is with birds?
Mm.
When you're at the beach, and there are seagulls, you get chips and you sit in your car and you close the doors and everything. You put the chips on the dashboard and you just reach over and grab them.
Oh,
And you watch the birds coming down and you like swoop down. It's like bang, straight in the window.
Well, I like the dumb ones that can't even figure it out then. And then they're like...
They're like pecking at the glass. They're like, yo, give me that. Again, or like feeding them Panadol to make them explode. I'm not 100% sure that works.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it makes them sick. I don't think it makes them explode.
Actually, now, because I
think if you give them aspirin, it
aspirin,
it thins their blood out and they just collapse.
Doesn't aspirin bubble up and they can't burp so they explode? Or rice?
I don't think it makes them explode.
Oh. Well, there was a really good prank I saw a while ago where these guys got a thing of hot chips, fries, and they put laxative all over it. And so the birds came and like demolished the chips and started shitting everywhere. Man, I should...
there's a crazy bird tamer at Circular Quay.
Crazy bird tamer.
Yeah. So I think he might be homeless or something because he smells like that.
Oh, he probably doesn't get much work in bird taming, but yeah.
Well, and he covers himself in bird seeds, and then like he talks to the birds, and then they jump up on his arms, and then he takes them to people, and then like says, hey, do you want to put your arm out? Put your arm out, and then like they jump on their arms. He talks to the birds. It's really weird. I don't know what he actually says.
Yeah, he probably speaks bird to them.
Yeah. At first I was like, all right, that's kind of cool. That's a cool little twist on the whole street performer thing. And then I was like, wait, those are pigeons. Wait, those are pigeons. And seagulls.
City pigeons and city seagulls are disgusting.
Yeah, that's the two most feral birds there is. Not technically feral, but like the grossest birds there are.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, you don't really see pigeons outside the city.
Ibises are grosser.
Or bin chickens.
Mm. Because like most birds don't look greasy. Ibises look like they've
Yeah.
been working on a car all day.
They're all like because the whole like their head's bald, right?
Yeah.
And they just look like an old dude. You know what I mean? Just like
Mm.
squished into like because his skin there's no feathers.
Mm.
It's like I don't know vultures. They look gross.
Yeah. Yeah, vultures creep me out a bit.
I mean, I've never seen one. I think Australia has them. Actually, no, I have seen one because when I lived in Singapore, there was like a bird park.
Huh.
And I got to feed a hawk with chopsticks.
Huh.
Long story. No, don't worry.
I once had a parrot try to steal my watch.
Really? Was it a trained parrot to do that?
Now that you mention it, I don't know. But I was at a bird park in Cairns, and it was one of those macaws, the really bright like South American ones.
Yeah.
And he flew up and he landed on my arm and he was like all cute and stuff. He turns around and he just starts pecking at my watch and he destroys the watch band. And I'm like, oh, I know where this is going. And then he came up and bit my ear.
Awesome. Okay.
He was a dick.
All right. I've never been swooped by Maggie.
No, me neither.
So it's like people are like, oh, Maggies, they'll get you.
No, I befriend magpies. I give them meat.
Yeah. They got little babies and they're magpies start brown. It's really weird to me.
Yeah, and they go from like, I don't know. I can't do the. I'll play you a magpie call. I know you know what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's really freaking irritating.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you do that? So is that squawky one?
It's like the warble.
Yeah, the warble. So they start out like that. No, sorry. They eventually sing like that. But for most of their life, well, not for their like when they're young birds, they
It's
just
the
go.
squawk.
It's the most annoying. It's
Oh,
more
yeah.
annoying than that.
The warble's sort of funny.
And then, although one time I found I was like sitting out the back and we had a baby magpie in the backyard, and it was just as he was learning how to warble. So like, it was really funny.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, I got another thing as well. You know, right? Speaking of birds, the movie Rio,
Yep.
the blue bird. It's called a Sphinx's macaw or something.
Mhm.
It's extinct
Oh.
now. It wasn't when Rio was out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really depressing.
Oh yeah. And the irony is, so one of the guys I used to work with, he had a cousin who had a cousin, which would probably just make it the brother of the person I was working with, who was like a bird dealer, and he had like this was like 2014, early 2015, and he shows me a video and he's like, this is a video that my cousin is selling, and it was a bird that he was selling, and he's like, yeah, it's the bird from Rio. And then like a year later, it's like, these birds are extinct.
So, did he sell a lot of them or something?
I have no idea.
Because I know when Finding Nemo came out, everyone was buying clownfish and then killing them because they're really, really hard to keep.
Yeah, and because they live in sea anemones.
Yeah, they need an anemone to like live in.
Well, I guess you could
Or they
just give it a
die.
fake anemone.
I think they need. I don't
Oh,
know.
it's like one of those like weird animal relationships that how they codepend on each other. And
Yeah,
yeah,
symbiotic.
that's it. I thought that was just like a.
I think it is. I know definitely they need the anemone to be immune to anemone stings and like jellyfish and stuff. But they're also just like really keeping any tropical fish is really difficult because you need a special temperature controller.
Yeah, and you need
And they need very specific, like pH and blah, blah, blah.
Well, the thing. Okay, so I've looked this up.
Don't put them in a tank with barracuda.
Yeah, if you can find a tank that can fit a barracuda.
I mean, I kind of want one.
Yeah, look, I would love to have like a tropical fish tank, right? But so here's the problem: the tanks are expensive. The filter, you need a filter that can also doesn't just filter the water, but it does like it can monitor
pH.
pH. No, I don't think might be pH, might not be. It can disperse and it can. So you've got to then fill up the thing, and if it's like, oh, the pH is here, so I'm going to disperse the thing here, and that's like you're already at like at least like $500, and then you've got to have that plugged in constantly. You've got to then like get gravel, you got to get rocks, you got to get cool stuff. The fish themselves are like a yellow tang, no blue tang, which is dory. They're like $100 each.
And if it's saltwater, you got to get coral. You have to buy coral.
I mean, you don't, but you can just put like ceramic.
In order to do it right, I would buy coral.
Oh, generally, you have to buy like the right plants and stuff, but coral you can just use a rock.
Oh.
It looks, but like painted, yeah. And then you got to buy a little chest with bubbles so that it opens.
Oh yeah. And you got to get the little like volcano.
You got to get a volcano.
Got to get like a pirate like skull.
Yeah, you got to get a skull. You got to get at least like some sort of sunken pirate ship. You got to get a starfish. I would love a starfish. That'd be mad.
It just weirded me out when they're on the side of the tank because you'd be able to see their starfish butthole.
The chocolate starfish. The starfish is chocolate starfish.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'd love it, but like you talk like setup cost, you're looking at like between 500 and 1,000, and then like running is like you got to have it going the whole time. Then you got to buy chemicals, and you got to buy like fish food. Okay, that's a bit cheaper, but that's still like a lot of money.
You got to not put a yabby in there.
Yeah, to eat all the fish.
Or a lobster, I guess if it's saltwater.
Katie's uncle had a tropical aquarium, and he just bought like a pack like of fish, and in the pack came like a carnivorous fish.
Oh no!
And then they called it like Big Ted or something, and eventually it was just Big Ted left in the tank.
Yeah, that happened. Well, we had a whole bunch of catfish that just they outlived everything else.
Yeah,
by about 12 years.
Yeah, you could put like the little ones, like the
bronze catfish. That's what.
Like the small ones, not like the actual like the ones like when you look at their face, they're like.
Oh, like that.
Yeah, with a big old mouth. No, like the tiny like the ones that are about like 10 centimeters.
Yeah, the ones they're kind of cute because their face sort of just comes to a point rather than like.
Yeah, those could survive in the water in the bottom of a pot plant. 100%.
Well, they say that's true of the Siamese fighting fish as well. Like they live in puddles in the wild.
Yeah. I should get a fighting fish. Oh, then I'm going to clean his tank.
And you can only get one.
No, you can get two. You just have them in separate tanks.
Yeah, why have two? Or you can get a male and a female, I think.
No, you can't.
Oh, really?
No. Because
what are the?
I had a fighting fish when I was younger, and I put his tank up to the mirror, and he goes to fight himself, right?
Yeah.
And they change colors when they fight.
They change colors?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like an actual, not like I think they're called betters or breeders or something. They're just like $5 and they're like, yeah, whatever. But if you buy like a legit one, like I bought it at a shop at Burwood. It's now an optometrist. But yeah, if you buy a legit like fighting fish that's like $50, $60, and they're a bit bigger than Britas or Bettas. I can't remember what they're called.
Betters.
Bettas, yeah, they're a bit bigger than them, and they change color.
Oh.
Didn't you ever have the?
I had a better.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the right type. He got white velvet disease and died.
Oh, white velvet disease sounds like. Obviously, it's a disease, but if you're like, oh, he caught the white velvet, it doesn't sound like you know what I mean.
No, it sounds like, you see, white velvet just sounds like a Marvin Gaye song.
Yeah.
Or like a one of those like art house movies. I don't know, it's about like a transgender dude or something.
I mean, yeah, white velvet, or someone that got a skin change from black to white.
Michael Jackson.
And no, they're not specifically Michael Jackson. He just shaved with a cheese grater.
Well, he had vitiligo.
Yeah, shaved with a cheese grater.
That's not vitiligo.
Yeah, I know.
That's eczema.
Oh, that's right. No, but yeah, like they like bleach all their skin white, and then they're also a lounge singer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then it's their coming of age. So not coming of age, like a. You know how there's like the story where it's like I start good and then I just fail, and then there's a redemption arc.
Yeah. So he starts out played by Donald Glover and ends up played by Macaulay Culkin. And then the what's it called? The climax of the film, he sings "Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Babe" by Barry White.
Yeah.
And then that becomes like the hit single that goes with the film, and that wins the Oscar. It's just Macaulay Culkin singing "Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Babe."
I don't know what that guy sounds like. I mean, he's a crack addict.
My darling, no. Oh, you mean Macaulay Culkin?
Yeah.
Well, he's in a band.
Oh.
But I think it's a punk band. So you don't need to sing in a punk band.
Yeah, you just need to shout angrily. Just call people fascists. Hate your parents. I mean, that actually, now that I think about it, that's probably most bands. No, I guess not.
Not most bands, but most definitely most punk bands.
Okay, just like take away shouting into a microphone and then you're good. That's all bands. Because you can't be a star without some sort of, my parents hated me growing up.
No, you need an issue.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know of any stars that... Oh, Hugh Jackman. But apart from Hugh Jackman, I don't know of any stars that are completely... Like, there's nothing going on there.
Yeah. Or it's like... There was I can't remember his name, but he's an Aussie guy and he just... It's not... I don't know, I'll show you after. But, it was he says a thing where he's like, now to be a star, you've got to have something like happen to you. So for example, when I was young, my parents got divorced and it really took a toll on me. And I was like, that's not a thing. And then I realized my parents got divorced. But then here's the kicker. They split up twice.
So it took twice a toll on you.
Yeah, so I'm just like...
So really...
I'm held together by like
you should go
chewing gum at this point.
You should go into like EMI and ask for a record deal.
Or I could just go on The Voice, be terrible, be like when I was 14.
But you could be the William Hung guy.
Oh, that guy's still making money.
Because I don't know how that happened, but like he failed an audition for Idol and then became a huge recording star.
Yeah, because he just go into comedy. Because people will be like, this is, okay, I don't know how it worked back then, but this is how it would work now. Like, there'd be like a uni lad or a BuzzFeed or like a concrete playground article being like, remember this guy? And then he's like, plays the video of him and then he's like, he's now a legit comedy recording artist. And then people were like, oh my God, yes, he's coming to XYZ town. We should see him.
That's how people who read BuzzFeed.
No, Katie watches it almost constantly.
And incidentally,
oh yeah, she says
she is a big fan of
it.
Oh,
see, she started out saying it ironically. Now she doesn't say it ironically.
yeah. That's why you never say anything ironically. You mean what you say, always.
That was like me dabbing. I don't dab like constantly,
Mm.
but like I'll dab to annoy Katie or various other people, and then I was like, I found myself bopping to a jam in the car the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, yeah, dab. And then like the guy in the car next to me was like looking at me like, you all right, dude?
And then you have like an existential crisis because you don't even know if it's ironic anymore.
Yeah, and then I'm like, what is irony?
And don't ask Alanis Morissette.
Yep. I'm trying to like desperately relate this back to birds.
Well, birds are much like rain on a wedding day,
They just shit all over your family.
if there's enough of them. I don't know. You ever seen those birds where they release, weddings where they release doves? Just a whole flock of doves.
Yeah, isn't that a cultural thing for some culture?
I think it's just a tacky thing.
Oh. We should release doves when it like we should do like a
Okay, doves are just pigeons, but they're white.
I know they're just spray painted white. What we should do is if and when we go live, we should release a dove.
Have you ever seen that video of the guy who releases the dove, and then he doesn't realize it's dead?
No.
So he's like, and
Oh,
then
it just falls. Or like there's videos as well where people like are releasing something and then like a bigger fish takes it.
Mm.
So there was one this week where they're like releasing like a turtle they nursed back to health. And then like it falls in the water and like a big like groper looking fish just goes and takes it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I've seen one where it was a rabbit, and they
it gets taken by like a falcon.
yeah, they like let the rabbit back into the wild, and then and like the kids are so upset they don't even know what to say. They're like, oh,
There's a I think it was a fine, and it was they let a butterfly free, and then the dog goes and chases and eats it.
yeah.
It's like,
Badly.
Piggly, no.
Yeah.
I got ruined.
Or there's I've heard stories of people who took like small dogs.
Yeah.
Not that small, but like small dogs.
Yeah.
Out to in like the Grand Canyon, and then an eagle
Oh.
swoops and takes their dog.
Yeah, I saw a when I lived with Mum, I used to walk the dog at night so he doesn't piss in the house, and there was I don't know if it was a really small cat or a really large rat, but like
I hate when that's the two things you've got it confused for.
well, I saw there was a like an owl came down and like took it, and so
Oh, yeah, owls are monsters.
oh yeah, and
You,
I was
you
like,
think they're friendly because of Winnie the Pooh, basically.
oh yeah, or wise because they're a symbol of intellect when they're just literally killing machines at night.
But killing things at night is smarter, so they are wise. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, okay, but so for reference, this was when I was walking my Jack Russell dog, and I was like,
Not that much bigger than whatever.
not much that much bigger than a rat. I'm like, we're going inside, buddy. Let's not be out here with owls.
Was it one of those big grey ones?
Yeah.
'Cause we got like the big grey ones here, and then we got the little brown and white ones.
Yeah, it was one of the larger ones.
My dad was thinking of getting owls, or not getting them, but like setting up an owl
An owlery.
brooding nest, because they need like a hollowed out to lay their eggs and stuff. They need a hollowed out tree, but there's not many in urban areas. So if you set up like a box, that's the perfect size for them. They'll just come in and they'll hang out there and they'll basically hunt rats and stuff for you because
Yeah, that'd be very sweet.
they're one of the best hunting.
Oh, I guess. Oh, maybe not around this area.
They're
like,
a raptor, I think, is the technical term.
Yeah, that's the classification of bird.
Mm.
Because like around Mum's, there was heaps of like wooded area, and then like I saw one at our old apartment, and there was heaps of wooded area around there.
Yeah, that's true because you had that little creek with the
Creek, you mean canal?
whatever it is that had the bush around it, basically.
At Mum's or the old place? Because Mum's had like a creek around.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was like a canal near my whole place, which was like bushland. And there was a golf course.
Oh, that's the best kind of bushland.
Yeah. Really, really well like mown bushland. So
So what have we learned about birds today?
uh
To have a moment of reflection.
yeah, this will be in the final. Um I mean, I talked more about fish now that I think
We
about
talked, yeah, mostly about other animals, including birds, but
it. Birds are animals. Humans are animals. Humans are birds.
oh, do we get to how sad it is when a bird dies versus everything else?
Oh, it's not that sad. Except if you own it. Like I like on my way
What if it's a
driving
big
here.
bird?
Like what kind of like how big bird? Like what are you talking about?
So like if like a parrot died versus like if a finch died.
Yeah.
And finches, they're just the size of those little jalapeno poppers. I don't know why I'm comparing birds to chili today.
Like a similar body shape, I guess.
Yeah.
No, it's I don't know. It's equally it's the ranking. It doesn't matter what kind of bird they are, except for dogs.
Well, everyone's sad when a dog dies.
Well, no, like
Oh, unless the dog's trying to kill you and you have to.
there are like annoying dogs like Chihuahuas or like Chihuahua cross poodles
Mm.
or toy poodles.
Any sadness I would feel that like a chihuahua getting killed would be just the proximity to being next to someone who's sad about their chihuahua dying. Like if I was near the person whose chihuahua died, I'd be like sad because that's their buddy. But if I just saw a dead chihuahua, I'd be like, oh,
Yeah, there was a bird like mashed into the road on my way here, and I was like, that's a dead bird.
what type?
I don't know. It looked like a pigeon. It was mostly red because it was mashed into the road.
Right, like that kind of. Yeah. Yeah, I felt bad once I hit a pigeon. Like I didn't feel bad about hitting the pigeon, but then I looked behind me, and its like leg was still twitching. Like it was flat, and then there was like a leg sticking out,
I was like,
and it would go, which it probably was just like it was almost definitely dead. It wasn't.
oh yeah, 100%.
Some things just twitch after they die. Anyway, that was really disturbing.
Yeah, you'd see. Actually, no. Okay, I'm gonna like. There's gonna change the list a bit.
Yeah,
There's one list where you don't see it happen, and then a second list where you see it happen.
yeah.
So it's like if you watch a human die, it's like whoa, it's really confronting.
Mm. But if you hear about it,
I have seen it once.
oh,
A human dying. I mean, it wasn't less more like seen it. I just like was crushing his windpipe, and
but
no, I'm kidding.
what?
No, he was. It was a dude, and he was. I was on the bus, and this was I was like a kid.
Mm.
This has got to be the last story because my voice is killing me. And I was on the bus, and then like going in the opposite direction. No, not but train. Going the opposite direction, a guy jumped in front of a train, and I was like, "Cool." I didn't want to get home at early.
Wait, was it the train you were on though?
No, it was there was a separate train going the other way.
Oh, they'd cleared that up by the end of the day.
No, but they would have shut down because I was on the train. They shut down the station.
Oh, including your.
Yeah, and they're like, "This
Oh.
train can't go because we've got to get." And then they were like, "Everyone off the train," and then they had to like nudge it up the track, and so they could clear it and get the half the dude's body.
All right.
Yeah, it was gross.
Yeah.
Cool. Any last words?
No, I'm good.